The room is quiet now, the books are closed. Dust hangs where the evening glows. 1,000 words I never spoke still linger in the air. I watched you carry burdens far too young, fight battles no one should have won. And every time you faced the dark, I swore that I would be there. But every shield becomes a cage if held for far too long, and every guide must someday trust the one they've guided on. What I couldn't say was that I was afraid, not of what you'd become, but of the day you'd walk away. What I couldn't show was how proud I'd grown, watching you stand taller than I'd ever known. And though I had to leave, a part of me remained in every lesson, every scar. What I couldn't say. There were nights I nearly changed my mind, packed my bags and stayed behind, convinced myself that one more year would somehow make things right. But the strongest hearts are forged alone, and some roads must be walked unknown. Though every step away from you felt farther than the flight, I carry doubts like heavy stones hidden from your eyes, because a father's fears are not the burden of a child. What I couldn't say was that I was afraid, not of what you'd become, but of the day you'd walk away. What I couldn't show was how proud I'd grown, watching you stand taller than I'd ever known. If the darkness calls your name again, if the weight becomes too much, remember you were never meant to face it without love. And though I'm not beside you now, the truth remains the same. The woman that you grew to be has never needed saving. What I couldn't say is that you found your way far beyond the shadows where I feared you'd always stay. What I couldn't know was how much you had grown, until I finally stepped aside and watched you stand alone. And if these words should find you when the years have drifted by, know that every choice I made was born of love, not goodbye. What I couldn't say is that I believed in you